Hey there, it's Ben from Pattern Profits bringing you the weekend update and weekly watch list for the week of June 20th. First, taking a look at IWO. New lows here last week 192.88. The new low undercut 199.13. 1020 cloud just going red above. Got a couple anchored VWAPs there to be aware of on any upside bounce gaps to fill as well. We'll have to see if small cap growth can get any upside traction the week ahead. FFTY, new lows here, same type situation. 1020 cloud going red, anchored VWAP from off of that prior low, and plenty of gaps to fill. Lots of work to do there. PDP, again, new lows printed, gaps to fill. 1020 cloud going red, and anchored VWAPs from off of the prior low. Not much in the way of support to the downside. So we'll get right into our watch list. HNRG, little cup, putting in a high handle here. Closed kind of right at anchored VWAP from off of the high. 617 is the pivot, but I kind of like how this little cup with handle setting up right into 1020 cloud. Good volume in the prior run. Good volume here up the right side. A little bit thinner than what I usually participate in and under that $10 limit, but there's not a whole lot out there that looks great. And this is in the coal sector, which is the top rated group. So another one worth keeping an eye on in the coal group, HNRG. Also going to take a look at VERU. Now this one had a nice run here, kind of flagged and then rolled over, but bounced right off of 5065 cloud. Consolidated again, flagging up high, and again right into 5065. You have year-to-date anchored VWAP there in red too. Want to see if this can turn the corner here back to the upside and then push through that descending trend line. First needs to get back above 1020 cloud. Those anchored VWAPs from off of the high, off of the big volume gap, back above volume, shelf point of control. Want to see that too, and then push up and through the descending trend line. But it can move really quickly and do that in a hurry. So again, that's VERU, Veru Inc. Also going to take a look at Perimeter Solutions, PRM. Little cup with handle pattern here, and 1246 standard pivot. If this goes sideways a few more days, get an inside day or two here, maybe able to put on a little descending trend line. If it doesn't immediately go, that may provide an earlier entry. But like I said, you want to look for some sideways consolidation, see this tighten up a little bit inside day, and then push through. Otherwise, if there's upside continuation, 1246, the level to watch. Look for big volume to come in on that move. Again, that's Perimeter Solutions, PRM. Some biotech names setting up. Biotech had a pretty strong week. Vivo is one, little cup with handle pattern. Big day there on Friday. Good volume right back above 1020 cloud. 29 the pivot. Would like to see this type of volume. Saw it back here too through that pivot at 29. Again, that's Meridian Bioscience, VIVO. You've also got same group, biotech, Neurocrine Biosciences, NBIX. That prior run was flag into 1020. Now you've set up a little cup with handle pattern here. You're in a little bit of a VWAP pinch there. Came out of there on Friday. Still needs to regain the 10 portion of 1020 cloud there, back above 5065. So looking for strength, continued strength in the handle there. Had pocket pivot, a couple of them last week. 98.74 the standard pivot above, but I think early entry opportunity here on continued upside out of that pinch, and then look for the big volume move through 98.74. Again, that's Neurocrine Biosciences, NBIX. Harmony, another one in biotech, same type pattern, little cup with a handle, 47.11 the standard pivot there, and looking for that to get back above. You've got 1020, 50, 65 cloud just above. Just got to get through there first. This is another one that maybe if it consolidates a few more days sideways, can get an early entry type opportunity with a descending trend line there if it bounces around in there a little more, or can add anchored VWAP to that level, pushes above anchored VWAP on a closing basis, turn it back to the upside. Potential is there within the handle, but the big level where most of the eyes will be is 47.11, that standard pivot above HRMY. Also, one more in biotech, ITCI. Another, then the pattern looks similar as with the other 60-64. The pivot here still has work to do. Needs to get above those anchored VWAPs from off of the high and the recent low. Close right at it there. You also have 10, 20, 50, 65 cloud just above. So it needs to push back through here. Maybe consolidates, tightens up in here, and then comes through. But good volume pattern here. And biotech getting a lot of attention, a lot of money flow last week. So worth keeping an eye on. FNKO, power earnings gap back here, consolidating that move. Looks like it's trying to get back above anchored VWAP from off of the power earnings gap on bullish outside day on Friday. 1020 cloud still above, so has some work to do here. But if we can see this start to climb up the right side, 2219 is that cheat pivot above. If you zoom out, this is part of a much larger cup with handle pattern. So you've got that 2219 cheat pivot above. Be aware of this high too from the power earnings gap. That comes in at 2148 here. That may provide early entry opportunity, but also want to see if we get upside continuation here and can get back above that anchored VWAP from off of the power earnings gap. Another one with good volume, again on the way up and in the gap, obviously. And then late last week, that's Funko, FNKO. Also, like the way Monster's setting up. 92, the standard pivot here, still has some work to do. Kind of consolidating here. That anchored VWAP from off the most recent swing high, you're right there. So needs to make the turn here, push back above 1020 cloud, coming off of 5065 cloud. Support good volume coming in. So want to see if that can turn back up the right side here. 92 pivot above is the level to watch for the big volume breakout. Regular readers know I like another name in that energy group, but we'll keep it at Monster for this week. MNST. PDD, if you don't mind China names, quite a few of them setting up. They had a strong week last week. PDD 6653, the pivot. Just be aware of that anchor VWAP from off of the high. If it does push through there on good volume, want to make sure it takes that out as well. Coming right off of the 10 portion of 1020 cloud. Again, China names acting well last week. PDD is not the only one in the group. Futu, F-U-T-U, an old friend high flyer here. 1020 cloud offering support. You have anchored VWAP off of that power earnings gap as well. Just looking for the big volume move through 48. 48 is a pivot there if the China names stay hot and if you don't mind participating in them. Several other names in the group setting up well. So just keep an eye on the China names in general if you don't mind getting exposed to China. That's all I have into the week ahead. Hope you have a great trading week, and I will see you over on FinTwit.